Picture this. Midnight on a humid Harlem rooftop. Jim Jones is live streaming curls in a hoodie, huffing that he runs circles around Nas. 1,000 miles away, 50 Cent quietly drops an ancient federal transcript on his IG. No caption, just 3 popcorn emojis. The internet hears the ding and stampedes. By sunrise, #individual1 is trending. Hot 97 callers are foaming, and hip-hop Twitter has already chosen sides. But beneath the tweets and bravado sits a 20-year powder keg nobody finished diffusing. Tonight, we're cutting the fuse wire strand by strand, because the moment Jim dared Nas to lace up, he didn't just poke a Queensbridge legend, he invited the most notorious instigator in rap to reopen sealed files. And trust, once 50 pulls paperwork, somebody's reputation ends up in shreds. When Jim Jones waltzed onto Shannon Sharpe's nightcap in June 2025, he thought he was promoting Gym Life and Bird Gang 5. Instead, he detonated a grenade. With that Harlem rasp, he announced, "I'm way more influential than Nas." These 22-year-olds barely know dude. Shannon's eyebrows hit the stratosphere. A Hall of Famer calling plays for hip-hop history? Unheard of! Yet the clash was appointment streaming. Sharpe pressed, "Bro, were you smoking when you said that?" Jim laughed, flexed a bicep, then doubled down. In minutes, the clip blew past 2 million views, sparking think pieces on relevance versus reverence. Older heads clutched vinyl, Zoomers spammed peon emojis. The algorithm couldn't resist. Every outlet, from hot new hip-hop to iHeartRadio, chopped the moment, each headline louder than the last. But Jim's hot take wasn't a drive-by, it was a sequel, one with roots older than most TikTokers. Flashback to Hot 97's 2002 Summer Jam pre-show. Nas, still fuming over internal label politics, randomly calls Cameron's "Come Home With Me" trash. Harlem took it personal. Dipset mobilized. Jim Jones, then Cam's triggerman in durag diplomacy, vowed to smack the kufi off Nas on sight. The beef lived on mixtapes. Nas sniped on Stillmatic freestyle. Dipset countered on diplomatic immunity. Lines blurred as fans picked borough loyalties like sports teams. By 2006, Jim's anthem "We Fly High" snuck subliminals under luxury rap brags. Yet under the smoke was respect. Jim often admitted Nas taught hustlers to rhyme poetic. Contradiction? Absolutely. That's why the rivalry survived dorm rooms and blogs, lying dormant until a single podcast reignited it. So why stir ghosts now? Because controversy converts streams, and Jim, ever the hustler, smelled opportunity bigger than nostalgia.
Nas. But remember, Nas' first record, The Barbecue, came out when I was in 11th grade. So Nas was my idol when I was young. Like you did, came to dressing, the wordplay, the music, everything. I was a superior Nas fan, period. I'd never take that away from him. But then as I got in the game, you got to realize that your rivals would be idols, and not to take anything away from that. I developed my own style and my own lane that these kids started to gravitate towards the same way I gravitated towards Nas when I was younger and things like that. It's a whole different.
Sharpe squabble. Jim slid onto Fat Joe and Jadakiss's couch. The Bronx veteran tossed lighter fluid. Nas is a god in our era. How crazy that a Gen Z kid cites you instead? Jim's grin said viral clip loading. He credited Nas for his teenage dress code, then pivoted. The torch passed and I became the blueprint. Older fans cringed. Younger ones nodded. Algorithm magic. Jim even posted, "Every 40-year-old arguing boosts my streams. Y'all welcome." Engagement soared 26% overnight, and Spotify's This Is Jim Jones climbed into the top 10 rap playlist for the first time since 2010. Hustle theory proven, but every marketing master plan risks awakening a bigger shark, and 50 Cent can smell a headline from Queens to Croatia. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson didn't fire back with a diss track. Why waste breath when decades of receipts gather dust? Instead, he reposted a 2019 Shade Room headline linking Jim to a 9-tray wiretap. Caption: Individual 1, popcorn anybody? The court transcript labeled an unidentified voice plotting to violate Tekashi 6ix9ine, hip-hop's most radioactive snitch. Internet detectives long suspected Jim, but no charges stuck. 50's meme revived the rumor like a zombie. Overnight, Individual One t-shirts hit Etsy, and YouTubers rolled 12-minute explainers monetized mid-sentence. Jim fired back. A Jim mirror selfie captioned, "Why you keep lying, lol?" Yet silence from Nas spoke louder. For 2 weeks, the Queensbridge icon ignored every tag, his streams spiking off Calm Alone. While social feeds roasted, deeper history simmered, because 50 and Jim's bad blood predates hashtags. Remember 2007's G-Unit NYC show? Cameras captured Jim and Jewels popping up on 50's stage, while Dipset imploded internally. Cameron felt betrayed. Fans dubbed it Harlem Night of Knives, and 50 kept receipts. Every time Jim resurfaces, 50 uploads a screenshot, a smirk, or an unsolicited history lesson. January 2025 saw 50 caption a Cameron rant with, "Individual One better holla at Cam privately." Months later, the pattern repeated, only this time 50 dangled federal paperwork. The message? Old alliances matter in court and culture alike. But the crowd isn't just spectating, they're crunching numbers, and the analytics sting. Reddit sleuths line Nas's 9-album decade run against Jim's mixtape marathon. Billboard receipts showed Nas selling out Madison Square Garden twice in 2024. Jim's last arena headliner was Summer Jam 2025, sandwiched among guests. TikTok stitched Nas's Grammy speech with Jim's Gym Challenge, adding clown horns for comedic effect. Meanwhile, Spotify's public data revealed Nas averaging 14 million monthly listeners against Jim's 3 million. Facts seldom win internet wars, but numbers dent narratives. Younger viewers realized relevance isn't just about algorithm reach, it's about legacy that endures platform shifts. Yet the biggest variable remains the silent one. The man in Queensbridge. Nas' strategy mirrors a chess grandmaster. Let opponents overextend. Instead of words, he dropped King's Disease 4 in April 2025, debuting at #1 without a single interview. When Jim's rants peaked, Nas Camp quietly announced a Madison Square Garden anniversary show. Tickets vanished in 4 hours and trends shifted to #KD4 Tour. Insiders whisper he's written 2 verses aimed at podcast clout kings, deciding whether to unleash them on a Hit Boy bonus cut. Meanwhile, 50's G-Unit Film and TV is reportedly developing a limited series doc on hip-hop's unsolved street indictments, with the redacted silhouette labeled Individual One in the teaser. If that trailer drops, the conversation leaps from bars to subpoenas. Which brings us full circle, to a Harlem rooftop where bravado first echoed into the night. Jim Jones wanted smoke, but the wind changed direction. What began as a swagger test against a Hall of Famer spiraled into a courtroom echo chamber, with 50 Cent spinning the lazy Susan of paperwork and Nas letting silence sell records. One more Instagram caption, one more leaked clip, and this saga could shift from lyrical sport to legal elasticity. So, as the comment sections reload and Twitter fingers fatigue, the only question left hanging is the one Jim shouted into that mic. Who really wants it in the booth? Maybe it's not Nas he should fear stepping in. Maybe it's the tape deck clicking in 50's studio, ready to play a wire we were never meant to hear. But hey, what do you think? Is Jim tripping, or is the industry sleeping on his influence? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're reading every one. And if you're loving this deep dive into hip-hop drama, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you never miss a single twist. Because in this game, the truth always leaks eventually. Stay tuned, because the next domino might not fall on wax.